Hey guys, this is Mel, and I'm here to talk about Legends of Tomorrow, episode 215, titled Fellowship of the Spirit, which premiered Tuesday, March 21st, 2017 on the CW. I am recording on the 27th, about a week later. So sorry about that. Delayed at work as they gave me double the hours that I'm used to, so that really depleted my free time. And then I went to a convention a previous weekend, had a birthday this past weekend, so there's a little craziness going on time-wise, so I'm able to record now, so I'm saying it now. Huge spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the episode already, I gave you a week to go see it. Go do that first before you check on my video, and then come back and see what I have to say. Otherwise, video reminders are up on screen. Take a moment. Alright, so let's start at the 10-minute clock. And let's begin. What happened in this episode? So timeline-wise, we are focused in France of 1916 during World War I. And the mission roughly takes at least 72 hours as we get that whole 72 hours earlier time jump type thing. So there's that. Episode reminder, though, is the fact that we get to see the Spear of Destiny as a whole. And the whole mission is trying to find a way to destroy it. Villain, though, is the Legion of Doom. We actually get all three parts of the Legion with an added fourth member, which I will mention in a moment. Episode breakdown, storyline-wise, though, we get two different storylines. We get one being the retrieval of the spear pieces, the second being finding J.R.R. Tolkien. Now, the first storyline brings us back to the Vanishing Point. We get the Legends team kind of infiltrating Eobard Thawne's little hideout and stealing his pieces of the spear, and then they put the spear together back on the Wave Rider. Now, in order for them to destroy the spear, they have to go and get the blood of its creator, as the blood used to create it is the blood that is needed to destroy it, which apparently is the blood of Jesus Christ. So while they're doing all that, they have to fight the temptation that the spear is calling to them, telling them to rewrite reality the way that you want to see it. So they have to try to fight that off. Now, story 2, though, deals with finding J.R.R. Tolkien in France of 1916, because he is the lead they have to finding where the blood of Christ is, since actually interfering in a moment of Christ, anything Christ related, is considered to be forbidden for Time Masters. Rip made it very clear that they cannot interfere with the birth of Christ, they cannot interfere with the death of Christ, and therefore they cannot intervene in the life of Christ. There had to be another way for them to get the blood, and that came in the form of a vial of his blood that managed to survive. And apparently J.R.R. Tolkien knew of its whereabouts. So while they're trying to do that, we find out that the Legion of Doom had recruited Captain Cold to their team before he had joined the Legends team. And this is found just after they had found the vial of Christ's blood, and he ends up turning Mick Rory against the Legends team, and Mick gives the spear to his old partner, and the vial is destroyed during the battle. Now, last moments of the episode show the Spear of Destiny is activated by the Legion of Doom chanting this ancient script that Malcolm went to go retrieve, and Mick is part of the activation. So whoever's holding the spear, I guess, is able to control or take part of the Spear of Destiny's use. So there's that. Tidbits, though. We get Amaya struggling with any war scenes that she comes across, as they now remind her of the future fate of her family. So the destruction of her village and all the hardships that her family's going to have to go through. So she's getting flashes of that. Moving on to the most shocking moment of the episode. I would have to say that it was Mick betraying the Legends team by giving the spear to the Legion of Doom. I mean, there were many doubts on Mick's end, which I wasn't surprised about. That he had, not only did it lead to his betrayal, but there's many times throughout this season where you get Mick questioning just how the Legends team see him, if he's really part of the team, and just how it is they view him, and he went with it. They didn't fully trust him, and he proved them to be true, type thing, I guess you could say. So in a way, it surprised me that he actually went that final step, but then it doesn't surprise me because this whole season had him struggling with finding his true place with the team. So there's that. Now moving on to top 3 favorite moments. First one I have to say is Eobard Thong's reaction to the Legends team infiltrating his hideaway and stealing his pieces of the spear. He kept on saying those idiots should not be capable of like getting past him and all that. It was just really hilarious to see his reaction to finding out that not only was he too late to stopping them, but that they managed to also they also managed to achieve what he was trying to do. So there's that. Second favorite moment I have to say is the actual process of activating the Spear of Destiny. Yes, it's bad that the Legion of Doom is activating this relic, but the way it was done, I thought was pretty cool, very sophisticated, and it was just all around awesome when it came to like how that power can be activated. So there's that. Third favorite moment for me has to be Rip Hunter's speech to the soldiers when they were in France in 1916, and how he was asking the soldiers to lay down their guns and allow each side to gather their wounded so that his team could secretly go into the no man's land unharmed and grab the vial of Christ's blood. I just really like the speech that Rip was giving. It definitely touched both sides. So it was just great how he drew on from those words. So there's that. Moving on to top 3 peeved moments, I have to say a peeve of mine would have to be how quickly everyone on the Legends team turned on Heatwave. I mean, rightfully so, but if they had just given him a chance from the beginning and showed that they trusted him, he would not have felt that divided between them. He wouldn't have felt like he was truly an outcast among outcasts. He would have felt like he belonged in some way to the team instead of having all these doubts about whether or not they're keeping him for the right reasons or if they're just using him. So it was just really, it sucked seeing the team turn when he betrayed them. It was like, of course he betrayed them. He's a criminal. It's like it showed that they didn't really give him a chance, and you kind of see a few of them questioning, well, whether did we really give him a chance, or is this really our fault for not really giving him a chance to prove himself type thing. So it's just something like that. Moving on, though, to what moment will I remember most when I look back on this episode? I have to say the fact that the Spear of Destiny is whole and it's now activated is going to be a huge reminder. Fellowship of the Spear is kind of a huge giveaway as to the reference of Lord of the Rings. So there's that. Moving on, random questions though. First one, if the Legion of Doom recruited Captain Cole before he joined the Legends team, does that erase all that Captain Cole did when he was on the Legends team in Season 1? I mean, doesn't that mess with the timeline in some way, shape, or form? I have no idea. I'm confused just thinking about it. Second question, this whole time, has Mick been hallucinating Captain Cold, or was this episode the only time Captain Cold has actually been real and just feeding off of the hallucination that Mick was previously having about his dead partner? So that's another one right there. Last question. If the blood of Christ, the vial of blood of Christ that they were searching for is now destroyed, does that mean that they will have to interact with the Christ himself to get it, or would any blood relative work to, or they are, because it can't be a loophole in destroying the thing. They made it very clear that it had to be the blood that created it, had to be the blood to destroy it. So now that they lost the blood vial, does that mean they actually do the unthinkable and go to a moment in time where they were not supposed to intervene? So I guess there's that. I'm thinking maybe, but we'll have to wait and see about that. Moving on to the predictions very quickly. Based off the promo for 216, it's a whole bunch of jumblings of footage, but pretty much the new reality is now set in place. We see Mick trying to gather the team up to right his wrong, I guess you could say, but we also see Sarah and Amaya working for Damien Dark, and we see Malcolm complaining about the fact that they should have killed the Legends team when they had the chance. So there's that. Based off the synopsis for 216, though, it reads that after obtaining the Spear of Destiny, the Legion of Doom rewrites reality, leaving the Legends changed, perhaps forever. Frightfully, the Legends and the world's hopes rest with Rory, but being the hero is not easy for him. Meanwhile, there's tension within the Legion of Doom, and the reason why the Spear of Destiny needs to be destroyed is revealed. Also, we see Professor Stein, Ray, Rip, Sarah, Jax, Nathan and Amaya also set to appear in the episode, obviously. Now, from all of that, do I have any other questions? Well, one is, to reset the world the way it was, will it have to be Mick Rory who makes that command for the Spear of Destiny, since he was one of the 5 who were touching the spear when it was activated? So there's that. And is that why the fate of the world is rested in his hands? Second question, will Captain Cold survive the reset of reality? I hope so, because then maybe that might bring him back for season 3. But how is that going to mess with the timeline? So there's that. And if he does survive, then does that mean the Vanishing Point never would have been destroyed? The Time Masters would have been reestablished and all that? I don't know. That's another can of worms to open there. And last question, will the newly rewritten reality affect what had happened on Arrow or the Flash? Will we actually see those changes, or will we actually see people from Arrow or the Flash in the episode? I mean, Damien Dark is the main villain in season 4 of Arrow. Malcolm Merlyn was the main villain of season 1 of Arrow, and Eobard Thawne was the main villain in season 1 of the Flash. And if they rewrite their realities, then wouldn't that affect how Arrow and the Flash happened? I really hope we get to see that. But other than that, I think that's about it. But what did you guys think of the episode? What did you guys like about it? What do you think is going to happen next? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts, theories, predictions about what you think is going to happen next. Also, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, check out my other videos if you haven't done so already. Also, if you want, check out my Tumblr page. The link for that is down below. I reblog promos, web clips, quotes, GIFs, synopses, news, all that good stuff, all found in one place, so go check that out. It's also connected to my WordPress account, which is connected to everything else I post, but WordPress is a work in progress. But I do hope you follow me there, or check that out at least. And that's about it, I believe. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. So sorry for the delay, but I hope you come back next week to hear what I have to say about the next episode. But until then, guys, this is Mal. Wish you all a great day, great week, wherever you are. Bye for now.